Ah! Okay, this is the 5th time I've recorded this intro. So let's do this. Damn Audacity. Hate you so much. But I can't live without you. And right, so what you're seeing here is what you will be creating, or something that looks a bit like it, because each one of these is exactly the same in the sense that they're completely different every time you do it. You're going to have the same basic fireball, you're going to have the same basic structure, but your paints should be different. You know, be yourself where you position everything. Obviously, if you want to copy it exactly, then good luck to you. I started recording this film about 30 minutes ago when I finished, when I saved my last one, which is a new record for me, because I've just done this. It's 5 o'clock in the evening, so not too late. I'm full from lunch, and it's all good. So, a couple of interesting points in this video. You know, be creative, be yourself. Use paintbrushes that you find on this, anything you like. Keywords that I can give you now is danger close for one part that could be a bit obscure. This guy did a very good Call of Duty one. I can't find his link at the moment, but energy brushes, splatter brushes, you know, you probably got them already, so I don't need to tell you that. Textures you can find off the internet. Just type in textures onto Google Images and you'll find loads. Some of them you have to pay for, but most of them you can get off of Google Images. And yeah, enjoy. This should be over 2 parts, and they'll be different, but I'll show you how to do each one. And another point, the fireball effect, that's pretty cool. You should definitely check that bit out. If you're not too interested in the background, the fireball effect can really help with anything. It looks a bit like a blowtorch going through metal. And talking a bit too long here, so I'm going to leave you to it. Enjoy the video. Right, so we're going to be making this, and I've just made this literally a couple of seconds ago. And if I get that up, you can see it's not going to take too long at all. A couple of layers of texture and everything here. So I thought this was pretty nice. It's going to be using paints, brushes, textures, and you know, effects and all that kind of stuff. So let's get started. So we're going to go to File, New. I'm going to bring up my my canvas that's going to be set to my screen resolution. That's 1920 pixels by 1080 with a screen resolution of 72. Now that's going to give me HD quality with as low as possible file size. So yeah, and keep everything the same and press OK. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change our background color. Now I don't like to use black. I think it's too harsh. So I'm just going to take a lighter color, black. It's going to be a dark grey. And my computer says it's #0C0C0C. So that's quite convenient. Press OK. We're going to hit the gradient tool, paint bucket tool, and plop that in. Alright, next up we're going to take a texture, and you can find these textures on the internet. They're quite easy to find. I found this one, but obviously to wherever you do whatever you want to do with it, and that fits in quite nicely there. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Right, so I'm going to just change the blending option, and I found that multiply worked the best for this one. So I'm going to be using multiply. And next I'm going to be making my text. I'm going to select a new layer, rename this one texture, although it would be pretty obvious, but I need to get into the habit of doing this anyway. So I'm going to texture, create a new layer, and create a text tool. Now I'm going to be writing, let's choose white for this color. That's so annoying. Hang on. Oh! Alright, you're gonna have to excuse me for a bit. Okay, let's start again. So I'm going to be saying DLMGRAPHIX because that's my YouTube channel, and I love it. So if I select this, if I select my DLMGRAPHIX and my background, I can center them. So I'm going to press up here, vertical align, and horizontal align. That's going to center it to the page. Okay. Next up, we're going to be using a style that's pre-done in Photoshop and then tweaking it a bit. So I'm going to go to my styles up here, and I'm going to be hitting this. No wait, this one. Find out soon. Yeah, this one. So it's going to be using bars negative texture, bars texture even, and it gives me a quite a nice. It's already done for me. It's very easy. You've all got it. So we'll be using that. And obviously with my text I can change it, but this is still quite good. You can change your text sizes and lengths and put it into italics or not. So I prefer italics, especially for this kind of thing. And I think I'm going to try and center these again. Oh. So let's center that one more time. Yeah, thought that moved. Okay, so in this we're going to be changing a couple of things. The first thing we are going to do is double click on the effects. We're going to bring the opacity, fill opacity down a little so we can see not completely through, but a little bit through. And we're going to be adding a drop shadow. No, so I'm going to keep most of these settings the same, but I'm going to be add a drop shadow onto this. So I'm going to take that to about 15 or 20, and I'll pull that out a bit. Okay. Now, seeing this, I think my background is going to be a bit too dark. So I'm going to go back to here, and again, just choose a lighter color. This kind of thing works best if you're not constrained to an idea and you're willing to just change it as you go along. Okay, so I'm going to go to my bevel emboss now, and I've got my textures here. Go to my texture, and I've got a load of textures here, and I want to have a I want it to look like it's metal, so I'm going to use a checker texture, and you should be able to find this most places on the internet. You know, they're pretty common. Let's scale this up a bit probably, and that's good. So you can see here that I'm starting to get some texture effects. I'll move this out of the way for you to see, and I'm going to scale this until I get a value I like. And obviously if you go onto this part, you can just move your texture about. You don't have to use any tools, but you can move it about until something fits nicely. I like that, so I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to bring back the layer Starbox for you to see. Okay, next up I'm going to add a color overlay to this. With this one I'm going to probably add a red. I want it to be an orangey red, not too what's it called, too strong. I mean, that looks pretty nice in my opinion, but it's not the style I'm going for. So I'm just going to change the blend mode until I get something that I like. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm going to keep that one. That one until I change my mind. Okay. So that's a really nice red there. And next comes the fireball laser light energy thing, whatever it's called. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to call this fire trail in capitals because I'm angry and loud. But we're going to go to the rectangular marquee tool, which is up here. I'm going to make a small marquee thing about the size of my image. And you don't have to be too precise with this. And a brush that we're going to be using later. But let's go back to our basic brushes. Change it to something we want. Hardness down. And select white down here. And what we're essentially going to do is just hold down the shift key and drag across. So that the shift key constrains my movements to up, down, left, right when I'm painting, and it just makes it a lot easier to do stuff with it. Okay, now with this, I'm going to deselect that, and I'm going to add a mask to it. On the mask, I'm going to go to my gradient tool, select the black to white. So I'm going to undo reverse, black to white, and that's going to mask out, well, anything in black is going to get masked out, and we're not going to be able to see it. So this is going to create a nice kind of, transparency to it. Can you see here, it trails off here, and that's going to help us later on. So if I just move this down for you a bit so you're not seeing it against the text. The next bit I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer, and this is going to be called the fireball, and I'm less angry with this one. So I'm going to add a white paintbrush, a bit larger than that. So you can see you can go back to it and change it. I think a bit larger still. That, and I'm just going to, let's get 100% hardness on this one. And we're going to do that. Next up, we're going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and have a very slight blur on it, 4 pixels. Okay. Next up, we're going to go and take our smudge tool, which is located where the blur and the sharpen tool. Now let's take the smudge, get a brush that is now smaller than what we painted. Shift, hold, and make sure the strength is about 90%. You can have more, but you should experiment with that. And I'm just going to pull that all the way over here. Don't worry if it goes off the edge, because we can just use the same technique as we did last time. And you can see that's just keep going, go along with it. I think I might just do that one more time, just to get that how I really want it. Ooh, not what I wanted. Shift, drag across. That's okay. That's looking good-ish. And so what I'm going to do with this is now I'm going to go to this part here on my fire trail. The black paintbrush, very low size, low hardness. I'm going to take the opacity down a bit. It's going to paint around that so you can't really see. You can't see the edge of the fire trail, and that's going to look good. On the fireball, we're going to add a mask with our gradient, and we're going to do exactly the same. Reverse the gradient, drag across, and I'm on radial for some reason. Right, that was unexpected. Gradient, put across, and we have a trail. Okay, next up we're going to give this an effect. So we're going to go to click on the image parts of what we painted onto. We're going to go to our effects panel, and we're going to go to outer glow. We're going to change the screen mode to hard light. Okay guys, so thank you for watching the first part of this video. Be sure to check out the second part, which will be in the description. We're going to have annotations everywhere, and it should be on my channel very, very shortly after this one. Hope you enjoyed what you've seen so far. Hope to see you on the other side, and yeah. Can you rate this video, comment on this video, and then do this Emma? It'd be great. You'd be awesome. You'd be like gods. So yeah, that's gonna give you enough time to click on the annotation now. So see you there.